Dong quai is useful for deficient blood and symptoms of anemia. It can regulate menstrual cycles and relieve period pain and cramps. Black cohosh relieves menopausal symptoms, period pain, and menstrual problems. It is useful for inflammatory arthritis. Wild yam is primarily a gynecological herb. It is used for period pain, ovarian pain, and menopausal symptoms. It can also be used for arthritis to reduce inflammation. White peony is a female tonic. It is antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory. It supports mental function and memory. It is primarily a woman's herb used for menstrual disorders, period pain, and cramps. Jaquarty seeds are poisonous, but the herb has been used in the past for contraception and as an abortifacient. Chaff flower is believed to invigorate blood flow. It is used to stimulate menstruation and ease period pain. Research shows it may lower blood pressure. Lady's mantle contains tannins and salicylic acid. It is used as a wound healer. It is used by women to reduce heavy menstrual bleeding and to relieve menstrual cramps. Stargrass has estrogenic action and is used at menopause. It is also useful for period pain and to regulate periods. Pulsatilla is useful for cramping pain, menstrual problems, and emotional distress. Mayweed has been used as an antispasmodic and to induce menstruation. Shatavari or Indian asparagus is a woman's herb helping to promote conception and helping with menopausal symptoms. Balloon vine stimulates menstruation. It is useful for joint pain and it stimulates local circulation, clearing toxins. Safflower is used to stimulate menstruation and relieve abdominal pain. The flower is useful to heal wounds, rashes, and to treat fevers. Polonius is a female herb useful in regulating female hormones, helping with irregular menstrual cycles and endometriosis. Shenzuyu reduces heavy menstrual bleeding and active secretions including sweating, spermaturia, and excessive urine. Ditani is an abortifacient. Soy is nutritious and due to its estrogenic activity, it is useful for menopause and for protection against osteoporosis. In China, it is used to relieve summer heat. Cotton root bark was once used as a labor-inducing herb. It encourages breast milk production and can be used for heavy menstrual bleeding. White dead nettle is an astringent herb mainly used as a uterine tonic to stop intramenstrual bleeding and excessive menstrual flow. Saw palmetto is useful in treating lower urinary tract symptoms associated with BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy. Dandelion is a diuretic and detoxifying. As a diuretic, it can be used to treat high blood pressure. It is detoxifying to the liver. It stimulates the liver and gallbladder's capacity to clear waste products from the body. Parsley peart is used to treat kidney and bladder problems, including nephrolithiasis and cystitis. Strawberry tree is antiseptic to the urinary tract and useful for cystitis. Uva ursi is urinary antiseptic and useful for cystitis. Sandwort is a diuretic useful in treating kidney stones and cystitis. Asparagus is a diuretic that can help with cystitis and rheumatic conditions. Silver birch is a mild diuretic, detoxifying, and useful for kidney stones and rheumatic conditions. Couch grass is most commonly used for urinary tract infections and the treatment of kidney stones. Heather is urinary antiseptic and a diuretic. It is useful for rheumatic conditions. Stone root is a diuretic useful for kidney stones. It is also astringent, helpful with intestinal ulcers. Pepsisseва is astringent and diuretic. It is useful for urinary tract infections. Pereira is a bittersweet herb, mainly useful for chronic urinary inflammation. Sea fennel has diuretic effects and can soothe digestion. It is good for flatulence. Sea holly is a diuretic and useful for cystitis. Gravel root is useful for kidney and bladder problems, including kidney stones and cystitis. It is also useful for rheumatic conditions. Cleavers is a strong diuretic and a general detoxifying agent. It is useful for eczema, psoriasis, and urinary problems. Ladies' bedstraw is useful as a diuretic and for skin problems. It is useful for eczema and psoriasis. Rupturewort is a diuretic herb useful for cystitis and kidney stones. It is also astringent and useful for ulcers. Wild hydrangeas is a diuretic and is helpful for kidney and bladder stones and cystitis. Gutulanca is a diuretic and an aphrodisiac. Juniper's fruit is diuretic and antiseptic to the urinary tract, useful in cystitis. It is warming to the digestive system, easing colic. Externally, it is useful for arthritic conditions. Larch is an astringent herb with antiseptic and diuretic properties, useful for cystitis as well as respiratory problems. Club moss is antispasmodic, sedative, and diuretic. It is useful for urinary problems, indigestion, and headaches. Spiny rest harrow root is a diuretic and useful for kidney stones and cystitis. Java tea is a diuretic and useful for poor renal function and nephritis. It is also useful for kidney infections and kidney stones. Pellitory of the wall is a diuretic and demulcent herb useful in preventing kidney stones and has been used for cystitis and edema. Parsley seeds are diuretic, similar to celery seeds, and are useful for arthritic conditions. It is also useful for flatulence and cystitis. It may relieve menstrual pain. White cherry is eaten as a fruit, but is also a diuretic and useful for kidney stones.